really interesting. It says Carl.
What in the world is that? I mean, they've never seen anything like it. Hey, it's Jason with Denwerks. Got something pretty cool today. 1968 Firebird Convertible. This is a factory 400, factory 4-speed car. It even is a factory tack on the hood. You don't actually see that very often. You know, a minute ago you might have saw my new addition. Her name is Shelby. She is an English bulldog. So she is actually Stanley's niece. So we got Uncle Stanley now. So over the weekend you might have saw us on Instagram and stuff. We got her. So she's a really nice little dog. You don't see them in black and white very often. So we'll probably have her in some of our videos and pictures in general. You know, so we'll just go ahead and do a little walk around here on this real fast. We're going to show you underneath on the lift, driving it around, underneath the hood, interior in general, just show you what works, what doesn't overall. But overall, nice car in general. I would call it more of a driver, you know, quality car in general. Super solid. We'll walk around here real fast. Keegan's gonna hop in and we'll go ahead and show you the lights and everything working. So we got headlights. You can see the marker lights are on down there at the bottom. We got turn signals right and left, and we got high beams as well. So all those are working overall. The hood on it is actually a fiberglass hood. You know, they put it on there a long time ago. It doesn't have hood hinges, springs on them, because you can see it's starting to arch a little bit right here, and it's down a little bit. If I was going to own the car longer and stuff like that, I would go ahead and put a steel hood. They're not that much money. And this is also, all these cars didn't have the factory hood scoops too. So if you look on the PHS docs, it actually has it is a hood scoop car as well. So a lot of nice options with this car in general. The original color was kind of a green color. I can't remember it off the top of my head here, but it was a green. It's actually kind of a pretty green actually. Yeah, but you know, obviously it's been painted red. So you're gonna see little flaws and different things in the paint. You can see a little scratch right there. There's a lot of different ones on it in general, you know, but overall it's not a rusty car by any means or anything like that. Super solid floors, a couple little tiny spots, and a little spot in the trunk. The grill area looks actually pretty good. You know, it's not broken inside there or anything like that. You'll see a little bit of haziness on the grill, but on the bumper area, but it's not bad. I mean, it actually looks nice. Bottom of the valance is in good shape overall. Car runs fantastic. We have all the paperwork and stuff on it. It's not the original motor in it right now, but it does have a 68 400 in it. So you'll see a lot of documentation and paperwork that we're going to put out in the auction so you can see it. We'll go ahead and look at the tires. Are BFGs, 225/60 14s, original wheels, rally wheels. Does have new caps. I'm not sure the year of the tire when I put it up on my lift. I'll try to take a look, but they're actually in pretty nice shape. But we'll get an age for you. I think it's on the inside. You can see down here at the bottom of the fender, looks good. You're gonna see some chipping along the side here, along the edge of this door. Hopefully you can see that. Hopefully you can see the pictures and in the video generally the quality of the car. If you see me pointing a lot, it's because I'm pointing at little chips, little imperfections. I would say the paint on is probably 25 years old. Windshield looks good overall. The top looks really good. Actually nice top. We got a brand new boot for it as well. Windows not cloudy or anything like that. We'll go ahead and look here at the bottom of the door. A couple little chips and scratches. One of these was, you can see here, this is loose just a little bit. There's probably little tabs, and one of them's broken off there, but you can see some little imperfections and little bubbling right here at the bottom of this quarter. Overall looks good. You'll see a lot of little sanding scratches in general, especially if you see it on the under lights and stuff like that in the dark room. You can see a couple little chips here in general. There's a few little micro blisters that you can see on the trunk lid as well. Go ahead and look at the top one more time. Actually, very, very nice top in general. The tires are the same size in the back, 225/60/14. You know, just a really nice driver in general. A lot of little sanding scratches here, a couple little chips in general, but a couple little hairline cracks there. So we'll go ahead and flip it around here so you can see it. You can see a little haziness, a little pitting there, but we'll go ahead and flip it around so you can see it on the other side. If you want to check us out on Instagram, we'd be glad to answer any questions or anything like that. You can see us on our website and Facebook page as well. Just type in denwerks.com, DENWRKS. So we'll flip it around here and let you see the other side. Okay, here we are on the driver's side. The car actually sounds really, really good. We'll rev it up here for you. You know, sounds great. And it's actually pretty amazing how nice this car drives. So we'll go ahead and show you the lights. Go ahead and shut it off if you like. The reverse lights don't work on it, but we'll go ahead and show you the lights back here. I like what, you got your lights on? Yeah. Ah, they're not on. Turn the key on. Actually, they are on. There we go. It's really hard to see there because of the way the sun is. Sorry about that. Go ahead and turn your brake lights on. There you can see the brakes. We got blinkers right and left, and then brakes one more time. There we go. Hard to see, and you can see the license plate light is working. Sorry about that, but I like these way better actually in the rear than a Camaro. Just a really nice looking car, nice design, and I like the little lights back here. They look nice on the car, so with the Pontiac theme. We'll go ahead and I'll try to show you the trunk lid here. You know, you'll see little micro blisters on the trunk lid and stuff. I won't be able to catch every little nick and thing like that, but eventually you're going to want to paint the car down the road. But if you just want a nice driver, this is a great car for that. If you look down the side, actually pretty straight overall. You can see that door is kicked out just a little bit, so probably needs to be aligned. You can see the hinges feel all right, but it's just not aligned perfectly in general. You can see here down at the bottom around the wheel lip, little scratch right there. No bubbles around there. It actually looks pretty good. A little pitting just like on the other side. These are all, that one's a little bit loose. There you can see a little scratch right there at the bottom. Again, little chips and stuff around the door edge in general. We'll go ahead and look at the top on this side. Looks really good overall, in nice shape. We'll take the top down so you can see it in a few minutes. A little pitting here and crazing. A couple little chips along the fender, along the door edge. A little bit here on the fender, little scratch in general, but overall looks really nice. Just a nice looking car. You can see here the tach. The tach does work. You know, this is a factory option like I mentioned earlier in the car. You can see the original VIN. We'll take a picture of that for you as well. So overall, good looking car. So we'll go ahead and show you some more stuff. Okay, we're gonna take a look at the interior real fast. You know, overall, looks pretty good. It's not perfect, but it's very, very original, actually, in general. I think the carpet's been replaced. The seats are all original, except this bottom half is not. And actually, I think the center section is, but obviously these little white inserts, it's original up here, but not down here. So I'm guessing this is original, and the material looks correct here, but maybe there was a seam split out or something like that, and so they just matched it like that. So that's the only change that I really see in here. The back of the seats, not broken or anything like that. A little dent right there, but overall looks pretty good. Look inside the jamb, looks nice, not rusty, not hit or anything like that. You know, the car, like I said, just a really nice driver. You know, but it actually drives really fantastic. It's not a show car by any means, but you would take it to Cars and Coffee, you take it to a car show and have the time of your life in it. Factory 4-speed, like I had mentioned before, her shifter. You can see the steering wheel's got quite a crack here in that little housing you see there. So it probably needs a new steering wheel. I wouldn't probably restore that one. A lot of little cracks around it, but those aren't too hard to find. Door panel looks good. Go ahead and show you the window. So the window rolls up nice and easy. Little loose. Right in here, you can see the window felt is on this side, but it's not on this side. Same with the other side. But I'll go ahead and roll this one up for you. It does have the rally gauges in it as well. You can see the temp, oil pressure, fuel, and everything like that. AM, FM radio. Now, I don't know if that is a rare option in these. I know in like Mustangs and stuff they have an FM radio. Is actually pretty rare in 67, 68 cars. I would imagine it'd be the same for these, but I'm not 100% for sure on that. So we'll go ahead and show you the other side. Hey, here we are on the passenger side. Just wanted to show you real fast. I won't spend as much time on this side because it's basically the same, but you know, you can see the dash on this side is in good condition overall. Glove box, you can see it's got a little power cord there. You know, overall pretty clean. You know, factory console. Carpet looks pretty good. You know, the interior, like I said before, is showing its age for sure. I think that these are original. Actually, seats, which is actually kind of nice. Original material, like I mentioned over there, that bottom half have been replaced, but you know, this is original seat material. You can see, looks like another little stitch right there. Maybe they had a repair on it. I'll just take a look at the door panel. You know, no cracks or anything in it, so that could probably be restored pretty nice. It looks good. Rubber looks good overall. Go ahead and roll the window down. It actually works good. I'll roll this quarter window, so I'm going to show you the top down here in just a second, and I'll get someone to help me. You can see the back seat looks good overall. You know, pretty nice. So let's go ahead and look at the jambs real fast. You know, I don't see any rust or anything like that, or any accident damage. I think this is where a little door plunger, you know, one of those little plungers go there to make courtesy lights work and stuff. So overall looks good in here. So we'll take down the top here in a second. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and put the top down. There's two little latches. You can see one right there, and there's another one right there. And you see these little hooks hook into the front. So, and there's a little toggle switch underneath. So anytime you put a top down, you just want to make sure all that's kind of nice and straight. So it's curved nice. So go ahead and put the top down. Actually works nice. We do have a new boot for it as well. So we won't snap it on right now, but we'll make it go up and we'll make it go down. Go ahead and go back up. Yeah, I don't know, maybe some of you guys, Firebird and GM guys, can tell me if you could ever buy one of these without a power top. I would imagine you could, but I don't know for this year. I don't know everything about Camaros and Firebirds, but I do know that I like them. So we'll go ahead and show you some more stuff. Hey, we're gonna take a look into the trunk real fast. Yeah, the trunk looks pretty nice. This is a factory 2x2 Firebird hood prop. You know, if you measure that, it's actually 1.5 by 1.5. So your basic lumber store, you might be confused with the 2x2, but anyways, the reason it needs that is because, like I mentioned earlier, that there's no springs on that hood because it's fiberglass, so we'd just use a stick on there. So we'll go ahead and look at the trunk in general. You can see photos and everything. I'm not going to dismantle this thing inside here in general, but trunk lid, boy, I'm spending time up here. If you look across there, it's not rusty. A lot of times hoods and stuff will get rusty in all the seams in general. It's got a new mat in it. You can pull this back just a little bit and you can kind of see the floor is actually in pretty good shape. You're going to see photos of it in general. I forgot the name of these little things here, but they're little stabilizers right here. They're just slipped my GMC Suburban that I just sold on BAT had these, but they're little balancers for kind of weight in convertibles. You can see them on both sides. There is a little bit of rust right here, and you can see someone put some duct tape over it, but there is a hole, and I think there's two little ones here, but the rest looks really good. When I already did the video underneath, and I didn't mention it in the video because I forgot, but you're gonna see pictures of it. But it's about I think there's a dime size and about a 50-cent piece size. But if you look back here across the back, it actually looks good. So I just don't want to take that all out, and you can tell it hasn't had any accident damage in the back. So the other thing we're looking at is inside the seams here. Looks good overall, and I think one of the quarters had been replaced, and it is this side on the passenger, and they did a good job. Hopefully you can see there's a little seam. If we look up in here, let me get my flashlight out. Sorry, I should have been prepared a little better there, but let's see up there. See a little seam up there at the top. So, and I just want to check the other side as well. Actually, this quarter panel is original, but up in here, so that one has not been replaced, but definitely the other one has been replaced for sure. You can see here it's got a power antenna. Actually, I haven't tried that, so when we do our driving video, we'll test that. So hopefully that gives you a good look. I think they did a good job on this quarter panel here. So we'll go ahead and take a look at some more stuff. We're gonna take a look underneath the hood here. There's actually a little lever right down here. You just pull it, and we've got our fancy stick. NOS Firebird 2x2. So anyways, the reason that stick is on there, I've got to use that, is the springs we have, but they put too much tension on the fiberglass hood, so I took the springs off of it, and he's been using a stick there to hold it up. The engine, this is a factory 400, like I had mentioned earlier, 330 horse. It came with a WZ motor. And you can see the stamping right there. This is a YC. So this is a correct 68 engine, but just not for Firebird. YC was for full-size Pontiacs. So, but this motor's been completely built in general. I won't go through all the details. You'll see the sheet on and stuff, and it's balanced, really good running motor overall. So, but this is a factory 330 horse car, factory 400 and factory 4-speed. It's got an M20 behind it, and motor, I'm guessing, probably has less than 1,000 miles on it since it was done in around 06, 07 and put in the car. You can see it's got power brakes, it's got disc on the front, drums on the back, newer alternator, and then it also has power steering. You can see right here. So the car is actually really fun to drive, stops nice, tons of power, and you know, it's super nice. The other thing I was going to mention here, what we're looking for is that there's no crinkle damage or anything underneath the hood here. This is actually really straight, super nice, and you can see up there on the firewall, it all looks good. It's got Mickey Thompson vintage valve covers on it as well. You can see the original cal tag is there as well. We'll go ahead and fire it up real fast. Sounds great, actually. Aluminum radiator. Go ahead and rev it up a little bit. You know, sounds really good. No weird noises or anything like that. Runs super clean. We'll go back here. You know, it just sounds great. So we'll take it out for a spin and get behind the wheel and just show you some other stuff. But definitely a cool car, cool motor, great package all the way around. Firebird right now. It actually drives really nice, but I just wanted to show you a few things on the dash in general while we're driving it. One of the stupidest things, I was looking at the radio earlier, and you're looking at so many different things on the car in general, but I was reading the AM FM, and I'm not real familiar with Firebirds and Camaros that much, but this is an aftermarket radio, and it should have tipped me off when that cord was in there. It just wasn't thinking, but that's just me. Sometimes I'm half thinking. So anyways, that is an aftermarket radio, you know, and it does work. And earlier I was mentioning the antenna. It does go up and down. Maybe I hadn't mentioned it yet, but I did a little video on the trunk already, so that does work. And just wanted to look at the gauges. The horn doesn't work. The tach and gas gauge, temp gauge, oil pressure, all that stuff. Read, you can see the oil pressure just went up there. I'm on a little bit of a hill, so the other thing, you can see the brake light comes on, and just want to check the blinkers for us. You can see the blinkers, they're all working, and bright light. Oh yeah, there it is. So that's all working as well. The other thing I'll check real quick, hopefully you can hear that, the heater seems like it's working as well. So the only thing I didn't hear, let's just shut this off. fast. Put the key back on. I don't think it's kicking from the bottom. I can feel it at the bottom, but I'm not feeling it come out the top. And that could be some linkage or something like that. So that's one thing that isn't working. And the cigarette lighter doesn't work. So hopefully you don't take up smoking, so you'll be out of luck. So I'm trying to save a life here. So anyways, we'll take it out for a little spin. Here you can actually see the tach is working out there on the dash. So we'll wait for this one more car and then we'll take off. It actually sounds really good, feels good. Has plenty of power, for sure. I'm gonna go ahead and step on the brakes here. It's got disc up front. Actually drives nice and straight. You can see there was no steering wheel shake or anything like that. So we'll just cruise around here a little bit more and show you some more stuff. I can see the odometer's working, 87.065. You know, it's really nice living out here in the country because a lot of windy roads in general. Wipers are working, obviously not raining, but this is just the perfect place to drive in a car like this. So we'll cruise around. I already told you that, but I'm telling you again. Here we are. We're going to take a look at the Firebird underneath. You're obviously going to see all the still photos and stuff like that, but we like to do videos of our cars underneath so you can get a good look in general of just overall condition. We can talk about different things and, you know, point out different things as we look around. So we're going to go ahead and start from the front to the back. This is actually the second thing I look at on a car when I'm checking them out in general. You know, everything can look really pretty on the outside, but most thing I'm looking for in general, it's more important, is rust, structure, you know, accident, damage in general. So some of that stuff is really hard to fix. You know, you can work on cosmetics, but you know, when you got structural problems, then you know, that's not good. So we'll just start here to the front to the back. This car is actually pretty clean, you know, underneath, especially for a convertible. Actually looks really nice overall. It does have, we've already mentioned it before, an aluminum radiator in it, been upgraded. Frame looks really, really good. It's running disc brakes in the front. KYB shocks all the way around, you know, and they actually look in good condition. You can see a couple little spacers here in the little blocks, rubber blocks. You know, it kind of keeps the front from bouncing and raises it just a little bit, so the springs are probably a little bit weak in it, but they're really not doing much because that one has a little tiny crack in it and a little crack there. So that's just an aftermarket thing that someone put in there. So you can see that one only has one in it on that side. If you look at the bottom of the floors, they look really good, in a nice shape. I don't see any signs of any rust on this side at all. If you look underneath the rockers here, they actually look pretty good. On the other side here, there was a couple little tiny spots that I did notice. Now where'd they go? There was just a couple little tiny little pinholes right in this section here. Oh, there it is. See a couple little holes right there. And this is back where the seat is, so those are pretty minor, but they are actually there. Rear floor here looks really good. Rocker, you can see all the original spot welds going up and down it. They actually look in good condition overall. You know, as I mentioned before, this is a factory 400 and factory 4-speed car. It isn't the original motor in it or anything like that, but it's a desirable car for sure. You can see it's got dual exhaust all the way back, and this is fairly new. You can see the oil pan has been dented in slightly. Little tiny leak, we'll actually fix that a little bit on this gasket around the oil pan. Has had its oil changed. You know, we've flushed the system on the brakes and stuff, and that all looks really, really good. We checked the rear end oil and replaced it as well, the gear oil. And sometimes on our cars, if you see a date like that, I usually put it over here, but they put it on the back there. That doesn't mean it was, the rear end was replaced. That means that I replaced the oil. So if you look here at the frame rails, really good condition, no rust on them in general. They actually look really good. Trunk drop-offs look good. Here's this frame rail on this side. Overall, pretty clean. Look up inside. You can't see here, but this actually looks pretty good. And the wheel tub as well. Here you can see these little tiny little blisters right here that I showed you, when we were looking at the car from the other side. But overall, doesn't look too bad. You'll see some little sanding scratches in general. You can see some filler right here that they didn't sand off perfectly, but it's hard to see. This is a driver quality paint, but you can see just different things going on, on the car in general. Rear taillight panel looks good. A little bit of rust right there. So hopefully that gives you a good look at it in general. It's actually a pretty clean car for a Firebird and convertible, but definitely desirable being a factory 4-speed 400 car. So, and I like the option too on the PHS documents that it is a factory hood Tach car. So pretty cool. So if you want to ask any questions or anything like that, or make comments on Bring a Trailer, feel free to. You can give me a jingle. Would love to talk to you about the car. It is no reserve, so whatever it sells for, it sells for. So good luck.